School dropout. Why students leave education behind and why it matters. In an age where education is often described as the key to opportunity, millions of young people around the world still leave school before completing their studies. School dropout is not simply an individual failure or a matter of poor motivation. It is a complex social issue shaped by economic pressure, family circumstances, mental health, and the structure of education systems themselves. In the UK and beyond, understanding why students disengage from school has become a central concern for educators, policymakers, and researchers alike. At its core, school dropout refers to students leaving formal education before finishing secondary school or gaining an equivalent qualification. While statistics vary by country and region, the pattern is strikingly similar. Students from disadvantaged backgrounds are far more likely to leave early. Poverty plays a significant role, forcing some young people to prioritize work over education in order to support their families. For others, unstable housing, migration, or caring responsibilities make regular school attendance extremely difficult. Yet economic factors tell only part of the story. Many students drop out not because they lack ability, but because they feel disconnected from the education system. Traditional classrooms often reward a narrow range of skills, leaving creative, practical, or neurodivergent students feeling invisible or misunderstood. When lessons feel irrelevant to real life, motivation declines. Over time, repeated academic failure or negative feedback can lead to frustration, anxiety, and eventually withdrawal from school altogether. Mental health has also emerged as a major factor in school dropout. Adolescence is a period of intense emotional and psychological change, and schools are not always equipped to respond to these challenges. Bullying, exam pressure, and social isolation can push students to the edge. For some, leaving school becomes a form of self-protection rather than rebellion. In recent years, teachers have increasingly reported that emotional well-being is just as critical to educational success as academic support. The consequences of dropping out are long-lasting. Young people who leave school early face higher risks of unemployment, low wages, and insecure work. They are also more vulnerable to social exclusion and poor health outcomes later in life. From a societal perspective, high dropout rates place pressure on welfare systems and limit economic growth. Education, after all, is not only about personal development but about creating a skilled and engaged population. However, the story does not end with failure. Across the UK and other countries, alternative education pathways are offering second chances. Vocational training, apprenticeships, and flexible learning programs have helped many early school leavers rebuild confidence and gain practical skills. These approaches recognize that learning does not follow a single path and that success can look different for different students. Importantly, they challenge the idea that leaving school early defines a person's future. Preventing school dropout requires early intervention. Research consistently shows that warning signs appear years before a student leaves school: declining attendance, falling grades, and behavioral changes. When schools respond with support rather than punishment, outcomes improve. Smaller class sizes, mentoring programs, and stronger links between schools and families can make a measurable difference. School dropout forces us to ask uncomfortable questions about what education is for and who it serves. If large numbers of students feel excluded, the problem may lie not with them, but with the system itself. Addressing dropout is not just about keeping students in classrooms, it is about building an education system that listens, adapts, and recognizes the diverse realities of young people's lives.